Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a first impression review of the Revlon Colorstay Full Cover Matte Foundation. That was a lot to say. If you guys are interested in hearing my thoughts on this foundation, then keep watching. Alright guys, so today we're going to be trying the Revlon Colorstay Matte Foundation. So I saw this at the drugstore the other day when I was picking up my other foundation, which if you guys have been following me for a little bit, you know that I always use the Maybelline, what is that, Superstay? I literally just keep buying it over and over again because it's just literally I just said literally like 100 times, but it's my all-time favorite. But anyway, this is what this guy looks like. So let me read a little bit about the foundation. So it says it's a matte coverage that lasts up to 24 hours and it doesn't feel cakey or heavy. So it says that it's lightweight and blends seamlessly, and then it has a time-release technology that balances skin for a continuously fresh look. And it also says that it's shine-free and it's made with water, not oil. And this is $14, which actually seems kind of expensive for a drugstore foundation, but the one that I normally use, this was the one I was just talking about, the Superstay, I think I get this guy for like 10 bucks at the drugstore as well. But this has one of those pumps, so I feel like this one is almost empty, you can see it there, but I feel like there's still a lot of foundation in there that I just can't get. And I mean, I've been able to peel this off before, but I mean, you just wind up breaking every single fingernail and your patience in the meantime, so it's kind of not worth it. But I tend to like the foundation tubes like this because you can always cut the top off and get out the excess foundation that's in there, so you're not wasting product. Alright, but let's start with my concealer here before we get into the foundation. So I always use a lavender concealer. This just helps brighten the under eyes. The one that I'm using is by LA Girl. This is the Pro Conceal. So this is in the shade Lavender. This one's super cheap and it doesn't make your under eyes oily. I don't know if you guys have that problem. And I don't know why. I mean, I don't have oily under eyes, but the other lavender concealers that I've tried using just aren't as good as this one. This one just keeps it nice and matte, but it doesn't overly dry them. And it's just super cheap. I think this is like maybe $2 to $3 at the drugstore as well. Alright guys, so we're getting into the foundation. So I got the shade 220. I'm not sure if this is going to be too dark on me, but actually it might be too light on me now because I just got a tan. But I got the shade Natural Beige. Wow, that might be like my perfect shade. Holy crap. That was lucky. This has an interesting feel to it. It almost feels like... Was it Maybelline that had that Dream Matte Mousse? It almost feels like that a little bit. Like almost like a cakey feel to it, but like lightweight. If that makes sense. So I like applying my foundation with my hands because I just feel like it gives it a more airbrushed feel. I have tried using brushes and I've used a beauty blender in the past, but I just feel like I keep going back to using my hands. It's just such, I don't know, it just really, I feel like just gets in there. I don't know, like, it like really like helps soak it in and you're not wasting any product. So it does look pretty full coverage. I haven't been using a lot. So that's good news. When I saw this one, I was really excited because I just love matte foundations. I have very oily skin, so I'm always trying to find a really good one. Which I have found, this is like the 5th time I mentioned it already, but I love the one by Maybelline, the Superstay. It just really, the coverage on that is buildable, and it doesn't make me oily throughout the day. It's just so hard to find a matte foundation that's like that. Actually, it didn't cover my scars that well on the sides of my cheeks, so going in for a second round. So I think that makes it more buildable and not full coverage. This feels a little greasy. I don't know. I don't know if I'm a big fan. But maybe after I put my setting powder on, I'll feel differently. And you can almost see, like, it's kind of giving my face a shine. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it has a nice coverage. Like, I feel like my skin does look on the airbrush side, but it looks greasy. I don't know if you guys can see that. And it feels greasy, which is even worse. I keep like trying to tap it out, hoping that it'll mattify it a little bit, and it's not really doing anything. Alright, let me just put some setting powder on there and see how that goes. So I'm gonna use the RCMA No Color Powder. So you guys can get this one on Amazon. It's pretty cheap. Or you can get it on Camera Ready Cosmetics. That's always a good one. I feel like it kind of took off a little bit of my foundation when I put this setting powder on. Just on my nose here, it looks weird. And I mean, that definitely mattified it, but I feel like you shouldn't need a powder to do that if it's a matte foundation. And I mean, I set my face either way, whether it's a matte foundation or not, just so that it doesn't move around throughout the day. Like, it's almost like an extra like security blanket. But I don't know. The other matte foundations that I've used, they at least have a matte look already. Like, I'm not covering over shine to get that. Alright, well, let me at least do my contour and see what happens with that. I'm nervous with the way that my nose went with the setting powder, that I feel like my contour might move around the foundation too, so I don't know. Let's try it out. Alright guys, so I'm going in with this grimy True Match color. This is super old. This is in the shade Cocoa, so it's C8. I'll show you guys anyway, but this is like really gross. I just really like this cool tone shade. I actually should probably just get another one. I don't know why I'm so lazy about that. Now I'm just gonna go over it with the Matte Fit Me powder, and this is by Maybelline. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with my Pure Sculptor palette, and I am gonna use this lighter bronze shade here. Now I'm going to go in with my Sigma Cordi Rosa blush, which looks like this. go on the apples of my cheeks here. Alright guys, so this is how it looks after I've done all of my powders and my contouring. It doesn't look bad. It does kind of still feel a little greasy, which is weird. I don't know. I'm not completely sold on it yet. I did realize that I forgot to use a primer, which isn't that big of a deal because not everybody uses a primer, but I do personally. Every time I do my foundation, I do use a primer. So, I mean, that might have something to do with it. I don't know. With the way that I feel about it. I'm not sure. So I'll definitely have to play around with it and use a few different techniques and see if I can get it to work. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. But yeah, I'm gonna finish up the rest of my makeup and I'll come back on camera and give my final thoughts. Yeah, let's do that. Alright guys, so this is my makeup fully finished. I'm still not completely sure how I feel about this foundation. It's getting a little weird on my chin here for some reason. It's like exposing like a few of my pores, which is weird because I don't have abnormally big pores, especially on my chin. It's just strange. And it looks like it's peeling up a little bit on my forehead. For the most part, the coverage looks pretty airbrushed. I wouldn't say it's a full coverage foundation. I would say that it's definitely buildable because it took me a few extra layers to do my chin scarring on the sides there. But yeah, I mean, it is a nice finish. I'm not sure if it would be better applied with a brush or a beauty blender. As you guys know, I applied it with my hands. I don't know. It could be a bunch of different factors. I also didn't use a primer, which I always use a primer, so I don't know what's up with that. So I'll definitely have to try a few different techniques and get back to you guys. Maybe in my next video, I'll give you guys an update. But yeah, if you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You can also hit that bell to be notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.